let's try and keep this one short and sweet today, shall we? So, yeah, a little bit of an update, really. The boat's still in Cardiff. We were going to move her this month. But yeah, we've ended up keeping her in Cardiff. So she's staying in Cardiff for this month. And then we're planning on moving her. I was going to do it on Monday this week. That was the plan originally, was we were going to move her on Monday this week. And then I checked the tides and checked the weather, and yeah, there was a bit of a storm. Well, I say a bit of a storm. It was up to 23 knots of wind gusts that were kicking across the channel, and I just didn't fancy that at all. I was a little bit like, nah. My arsehole was twitching like a rabbit's nose. I was like, no, I'm not going to go and do it. And that I got just such a bad feeling about it. So yeah, we cancelled that idea. We've paid to keep her in Cardiff for another month. That'll give me a chance then to get down there and test everything again. I'm still not 100% confident with this engine, with putting the electric pump on rather than the part that we needed. So I really want to take her out into Cardiff Bay and run her around the bay for a couple of hours and see how she does under high revs, to make sure that the engine's being cooled. Now, the problem that I have is that I don't have a temperature gauge on my engine, so I'm going to have to get one of those little guns, you know, one of those little laser heat temperature guns, and just keep firing that at the engine every now and again just to see what the temperature is getting like, to make sure that the water is getting in and cooling. Now, I know that the pump works because it pumps the water out the back of the boat, but obviously with a pump that's attached to the engine, once the engine revs get higher, the pump obviously spins faster, so it pushes and forces more water through. So that's the one thing that I'm thinking about, is there going to be enough water passing through there, through the heat exchanger on the engine, to actually keep the engine cool. So I need to take her out into the bay and run her for a couple of hours and see how we go for that. I must admit, after hitting the bridge, it's knocked my confidence quite a bit. Yeah, I was just one of those unfortunate things. I mean, I'm very, very lucky we haven't damaged the mast. The worst we got was a damaged foil on the Genoa that the Genoa attaches to on the front forestay. So yeah, I'm gonna have to replace the foil on that. Now, I was looking at that, and you know, the direct replacement parts, you're looking at around £750. Then the mast has to be lowered, which is another £100 for the crane to come and lower your mast. And I was looking at it thinking, yeah, that's really expensive. But I'm a member of a couple of yacht forums, and I was talking to the guys on the forums about it, and a lot of the guys are saying, no, it'll be fine. You can drop the mast yourself. It's on a hinge. The bottom of the mast is actually hinged in. So basically, it will just stay there. The foot of the mast will just stay there. You just need to guide as it comes down. And then they're talking about building a little wooden A-frame, like a cross that will sit there like that, which is higher than the deck, so the mast will come down and just rest on there then once you've lowered it down. So I can do that. That's not a problem. I've made a new friend called Mike over in Uphill Marina. He's got a boat moored there as well, and he's already said he'd kind of give me a hand with anything. If I need any help with anything, give him a shout, and he's more than happy to come over and give me some help. So we're getting there. So yeah, so it's not £750 now. The parts themselves, I can replace the foils. It's not a problem. The foils are quite, well, I might have to replace the whole of the foil section rather than just pieces. But they generally come as like a little pack, and then you cut them to size, which makes it life a little easier then, because I don't have to start worrying about measurements and things like that. Just get what I think I need, and then I can just trim a little bit off at the end then, and then fasten it all together. So that's good. So that's okay. Just got to make sure that the cars will sit into the grooves on the foil, because you've got the cars that are attached to the sail. So this is the sail. Then you've got your little car. Then you've got your groove, and it goes into the groove at the bottom, and then it works its way up. And it's a bit like it sticks in there then. It's like I don't know what you call it, like a track, like you have on the curtains. Yeah, I've got one here. But it sits in there in the track like that, and it stops it from pulling back out again. But as long as the groove is going to fit with the cars, I think they're called cars, as long as they're right, we'll be good to go with that. So yeah, so that's the plan. Moving her across, I'm looking at doing it at the end of this month now, July. Once I've been down to Cardiff and ran her around a bit and tested this water pump, and if I'm happy with it, then I'll take her out then, and we'll do the crossing. A couple of guys have said, yeah, it's perfectly doable. I mean, I had a couple of people come back to me originally and go, you really don't want to do it if you're a newbie and you don't want to go into the Bristol Channel, blah, blah, blah. But quite a few other people have come back and gone, no, you'll be all right. Come down on a low tide, low wind, calm day, just motor across, don't sail it, just motor across and you'll be okay. So it's like, yeah, I can. And that's kind of helped in a way as well, because it's kind of boosted my confidence a bit, because it was like I was sitting there for a while and I was thinking, oh my God, I really can't do this. I don't think I can do this. I'm getting really nervous about it. And then I was sat there and going, hang on a minute, I'm Lee fucking Nelson. I can do anything I put my mind to. I've already proved that. I can do whatever I want to do and put my mind to it. I can do it. So we're going to go and do it. Yeah. So I've got my confidence back. I just need to get a little bit of confidence in this engine now with this replacement water pump. And we'll see where we go from there. Yeah. But that's the update for now. So she's staying in the Cardiff Marina. We will be going down at some point. I know Vic's waiting for the first week, I think, of the school holidays is when her son goes off with his dad for holiday. So we've got like a whole week then that we can go down there then and spend like a couple of days down there on the boat, spend overnight on the boat. And do the little bits and pieces that we need to do, because I need to get the UHF radio wired. Well, not wired. It's the aerial is being split. It goes into two connectors, and both the connectors are on. It's like an aerial, just like a TV aerial, plugs into male and female ends. So I've already got the parts for that. That's not a problem. That's a 10-minute job. Strip the wire down, replace it, and it should be good to go. I know the radio works already because I've tested the radio. I just didn't get a reception. So yeah, that's where we are with everything. Need the radio working, because that way I can then radio into the barrage, get them to open the gates for me to let me out into the sea, but also they will raise the bridge that I crashed into. Yeah, I didn't know this. So yeah, I've been a Cardiff Marina member now for the past 2 years, 2 months, and maybe even 3 months. 3 months, when did I? March, April, May, June, July. Yeah, so it's been a while. I've been a member of Cardiff Marina, and not once has anybody ever said to me, oh, by the way, if you leave the marina or you want to go sailing, you need to fucking get in touch with barrage control, who will raise the bridge for you. No, but we know that now. So I need the UHF radio to be able, VHF radio, sorry, to be able to do that, radio to barrage and get them to open it up for me, and then I can sail out into the bay, do a bit of cruising in the bay, spend maybe an afternoon or a morning in the bay, just cruising around, testing the engine, making sure I'm happy with everything. She's got a full tank of fuel. I filled her up already. So yeah, that's what we need to do. Yeah. So stay tuned, and hopefully we'll be out back on the water soon.